Good morning. Welcome to the Community for Conscious Living weekly live broadcast. Today is Sunday, June 27th of 2021. The Community for Conscious Living is a community dedicated to personal transformation for universal harmony, healing the planet by making inspired changes in ourselves and in our daily lives to create a sustainable environment and a peaceful world. Today's topic: what would you do if you had only 2 weeks to live? And spoiler alert, this is about living each day as if you're near your end, because you never know, and because living this way helps you to live with no regrets, and it helps you to really experience freedom in your heart and in your soul. And this was inspired by a dream I had this morning that someone very close to me was telling me that I had only 2 weeks to live and that I would be transitioning out of this realm of consciousness in the next 2 weeks. And it was actually, her source of information felt very credible, and I was excited to be transitioning, and also as the whole flood of things came in of what I need to do in order to be prepared. And so when I woke up, as I usually do on Sunday mornings, and asked for guidance about what to share with you all, this is what came through. It says, this is for the people. This is for you and the people. So here we go. And I was, so I got a lot of great information to share with you today. I hope you have a pen and paper with you. Make sure you have a pen and paper, because I hope that you'll have some things coming through, some inspiration coming through, and you'll want to journal. You'll want to write some things down. So if you don't have a pen and paper, take a minute and get a pen and paper, and we'll go ahead and come into our prayer and healing circle. Let's come into our circle, our meditation circle. Let's come in sitting side by side, shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, knee to knee. And let's come into this beautiful container that we set for ourselves. And as you come into the circle, just bring all of your attention, all of your focus toward the center of the circle. Bring all of your senses to face toward the center of the circle, your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth, everything to face toward the center of the circle. And bring your heart center, that funnel of energy that it extends from the center of your chest, bring that to face toward the center of the circle. And also your belly, or your hara, that ball of energy in the front of your belly space, bring that to face toward the center of the circle also. And together, as we meet together in the very center, all of our energy comes together there. Let's call on our source. In the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate, we call on you. We ask you to send your essence of your pure divine light. Let's call on that vibration of pure divine light, the essence that emanates from our source. Pure divine light to fill all of our circle. With this vibration to resonate in the center of our circle, filling our circle with this pure divine light. And as all of your senses are facing toward the center of the circle and into the circle, and your being is in the circle, just let all of your senses be met with this vibration of pure divine light. And let this pure divine light cleanse your senses, to cleanse your seeing and your sight. And let that vibration just travel through your eyes and through your neurological pathways, cleansing from your pathways and from your organs of sight any of the pictures and the veils that cover over truth and keep you from seeing the truth of what is in front of you in the moment, all of the past pictures and patterns that affect our ability to see what is before us in each and every moment and to be present with it. So let that pure divine light travel through your eyes and your pathways of seeing into your central processing system, your brain and central nervous system, cleansing those pathways so you can be present in the moment with what is and see it through the eyes of truth. And let this vibration of pure divine light meet your ears and your hearing. Travel through your ears, through your organs of hearing, through your neurological pathways, your cranial nerves into your brain and central nervous system, cleansing the pathway of any of the past pictures or perceptions that keep you from hearing with the ears of pure truth. And let all of that be cleansed and purified so that what you hear is clearly what is present for you in the moment, and you are hearing through the ears of truth and through the ears of your heart, your deep heart of truth. And all of your senses, your nose and your sense of smell, your mouth and your sense of taste, and your skin and your sense of feel or of touch. Let all of these places absorb this vibration of pure divine light. Feel the pure divine light coming through your body, through all of your sensory organs and even your skin, through your sensory perception, cleansing and purifying all of your perception so that you can be present with the truth of what is in front of you and perceive it through the perceptions of truth, through the light of truth. And bringing our focus back to the center of the circle where we meet as one, and there is only all one. And together let's call on our source. In the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate, we call on you. We ask you to send your essence of unconditional love. And just feel this vibration or sense this vibration of unconditional love streaming into the center of our circle. Streaming in this pure, unconditional love into the center of our circle, filling all of this space with pure love. And take a deep breath, breathing in that pure divine light and unconditional love, breathing it into your body. And as you exhale, bring your heart, that funnel of energy that extends from the front of your chest, bring that to face into the center of the circle. And let your heart just receive this vibration of pure, unconditional love streaming into our circle. And let that funnel of energy at the front of your heart, as it faces toward the center of the circle, let it tip up slightly and catch the stream of unconditional love streaming in, and let it stream into your heart. And as it streams in, breathe it in, take it into your heart, And with each inhale, draw it in deeper into the depths of your heart. And as you exhale, just let your exhale release any of the tension, any of the stress, any of those blocks and barriers that we have to love that keep us from allowing love to flow freely through our beings, through our hearts and through our bodies and through our minds and through our souls, through our spirits. The Spirit is pure love. Just let your heart receive that love and let your heart take that in deeper and deeper with each inhale, and letting go more and more with each exhale. And now bring your belly, that hara, the ball of energy at the front of your belly space, bring that to be present into our circle. And together, let's call on our source in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. We call on you. We ask you to send your essence of your eternal compassion. Compassion, pure, unconditional compassion in each and every moment. And the compassion that is timeless, that extends beyond our realm of time and space, beyond our three-dimensional realm. And let yourself rest into this ocean of compassion and just allow yourself to absorb it like a sponge, taking it into your body, letting this vibration resonate through your skin, through your pores, and just being absorbed into your body more and more until it reaches all the way into your core. And breathing in, just feel where your energy extends around you. And as you inhale, draw all of your energy in to your central core, your vertical core of your body. And that is the core that runs through the top of your head and runs vertically when you're standing along the front of your spine and through your base. So as you inhale, draw all of your energy into that vertical core and just allow yourself to come to rest, landing in your pelvic bowl and into your hips, landing into that space. You can put a hand over your belly. Sometimes that helps you to ground into your hips and feel at home in your body and feel safe. So as you inhale, draw all of your energy into your core and continuing to breathe in that vibration of pure divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion. And know that at the core of your being, your spirit, the breath of spirit that is breathed into your body, giving life and consciousness to your physical form, the vibrations of divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion are contained within your core energy, your core life force. So as you breathe all of this light and love and compassion into your core, let it awaken the divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion that is the core of your life force energy. And let that inner vibration of light and love and compassion resonate and meet this outer vibration of light and love and compassion. And let them vibrate together. Let them resonate and harmonize and vibrate together till the inner meets the outer and the outer meets the inner. And there is no outer and there is no inner. There is only one vibration of pure divine light, of unconditional love, of eternal compassion. And this is you. This is you. And allow yourself to rest into that vibration and anchor into your core. Letting all of your energy be centered in your body. Right? Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world. When we wish to see a world of light and love and compassion, we must focus on being that light and love and compassion. Everything is energy. Everything is vibration. Vibration produces sound and color and everything, and even the form of your fluid existence, even the form of your body. So let this form and consciousness that is integrated into one being, your being, let it vibrate at the frequencies of divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion. You know, when you think of a radio, we have radio waves going through the air all the time, and we don't see them with our eyes. But if we have a radio and we turn the dial on the radio to a certain frequency, it will receive the frequencies that are in the airwaves that match the frequency that it opens up to, and it will play those sounds and resonate those sounds through its speakers. It will receive those frequencies and play those sounds and emanate those sounds into the space around it. And so I invite you to set your dial of your internal radio receiver to divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion, and receive those airwaves, and let that be the sound that plays through your radio and emanates into the space around you, vibrates within you and emanates into the space around you. Music can shift a mood very quickly. So whatever's going on in your space, turn your dial to that frequency and bring in the tune that's needed for that space. And right now we're bringing in the tune of divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion. And let's play that together into our collective space and let it emanate from our collective space into the world around us, around each of us and around our collective virtual space. And if you didn't follow that, don't worry. You don't need to think it. All right, I'm breathing in. So I started off telling you about a dream I had this morning, that someone who I knew, actually there were two people. It turned out there were two people that I knew who had had recent near-death experiences. And they both came to me and said that, you know, what they learned in that realm beyond this one, where the knowing is more accessible and information can be shared. They were saying the transition is near. And one of them was saying that in my dream to me, that you have 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks before you're transitioning. And in the dream, I felt her words were very credible and her source was credible. And I felt really excited by her words, by the news. And what it meant for me was a shift in consciousness. And what is, you know, whether it's death or ascension or whatever it is, we are constantly dying to parts of ourselves and ascending in our consciousness to a new version of ourselves. So this is happening all the time. And I do believe that we're at a place in our life cycle where there's an opportunity for a significant shift in consciousness that is coming. I don't know about in terms of that specific shift that I've been envisioning. I don't know about in 2 weeks, but perhaps I don't know what's happening astrologically in 2 weeks. I should have looked that up. But there is, there's always opportunity. Always opportunity. And you never know. You never know when your last day will be. So as I, in the dream, got really excited, the first thing I went to is, okay, I got to get some things in order for the people around me that I currently live with to make things easier for them to manage my transition on the physical material realm. Like if I should need help in that way, that they can take care of my accounts and those kind of things. So I was like, okay, first thing, let's go there. And then the next thing was, who are the people? Who are the people that are important to me that I would want to connect with? What are the things I would want to say to them? How would I want to spend my time with them? What's the advice I would want to give to the young ones and assurance that I would want to give to the young ones that I love and care about? Right? And I thought about that for a while. And then it's like, okay, and then what's needed to prepare your own heart? Your own heart. And some things came through there, and I'm going to go through this more slowly here in a minute and give you a chance to do some inner reflection and write some things down. And then the next thing is, what of the work that you've done do you want to pass on or make sure it's available? That, is there a message you want, one message or a message or any message that you want to leave in the world, if you will? Whatever that might be, wherever that might go. And so just take a minute now. And if it helps you, put your hand over your heart. And it might help to put a hand over your heart and a hand over your belly. This to help you stay in your body and in your heart. Stay focused and grounded. Because, well, actually, let me read. I'm going to read from Neil Douglas Klotz's The Sufi Book of Life on the quality of al-mumit, which is the transition, or also called the bringer of death. And it is one of the divine names. And it says, when you are guided to this pathway, take the opportunity to remember all the formed, embodied existence. Thoughts, feelings, identities, and bodies, all of them come to an end and open a doorway to another world. Like the old Hebrew word, usually translated death, mawit, the Arabic word muit, excuse me, I think I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, M-A-U-T, maut, from which this pathway comes, maut, I believe is how it's pronounced. It shows not an end, but a transition from one state to another, one that returns a being to the universal self. We may experience such transition in small ways many times throughout our lives, but we often fail to go through them consciously. They can happen at a time of crisis for us, the death of a loved one, the breaking up of a relationship, or the loss of work. In Sufi terms, the experiences we have of dying within everyday life are called fana, passing away from one image, concept, or configuration of self to another. When we go through these transitions consciously, the self that resurrects itself reflects more of the whole, more of its purpose in life, and more of the beloved than the one that passed away. Hence the Sufi adage often attributed to Imam Ali, die before you die. I know we hear that in many lineages, in many religions and cultures. Die before you die. The Sufis tell many stories about this experience, but none more famous or poignant than the following as retold by Attar. One group of moths fell in love with a flame. They consulted together and decided to send someone to investigate their beloved more closely, because from their vantage they could only see a blinding light. One moth went out and returned, then gave a fuller description. There are 3 parts to the flame: the dark underneath, the light in the middle, and the aura around it. The wise moth that chaired the meeting decided this wasn't good enough, so another volunteered to go. This one cinched its wings on the flame and returned, describing the burning sensation, the pain, and the heat. This report was still deemed unsatisfying to the rest. Finally, a 3rd moth flew right into the flame, embraced and made love to it. Flame and moth were one. This one knows and understands, said the wise moth, but it cannot say anything. So perhaps life is presenting you with a situation where something must die in order for something else to live. Or perhaps you face a change in your situation which feels like a death to yourself or to part of it. Sometimes in the work with one's inner self, the part of the self passes away to make room for another. This can happen in various ways, but the essential dynamic is that vehicle of self that was serving your soul's development is no longer necessary or helpful. This pathway will not cause this process to happen, but it will support such a process that is already underway. So, this is the divine name of Al-Mumit. And we're not going to work specifically with that today. I just wanted to just bring in the essence of this energy, because it supports a process that is already underway. And when you think in your life of the things that you do want to transition into, that you want to transition just from one job to another, or you want to embrace some purpose in your life, or some passion that you feel drawn to, called to, or if you want annihilation of self to live as one with God. Any of those, there's always that thing that comes up that says, oh, but what do I need to, what can I not leave behind? What are the responsibilities I have here that I need to hold on to, that I need to stay here to take care of? And that's that little bit that holds you back from being able to allow your inner self to transition, whether it be a new job or into your passion and purpose or into a higher level of consciousness or into oneness with God consciousness. Whatever that may be for you, what are the things that hold you back? So take a moment now, and I hope you have your pen and paper, and just feel into your heart. What is a transition that you would like to make in your being? And when you feel yourself, okay, let's go ahead and put a timeline on it. You've got 2 weeks to prepare for this transition. You've got 2 weeks to prepare for this transition. So, let's get the first things first. Write down the first question if you're taking notes. What are the affairs you need to get in order so that you're not worried about loose ends? And let yourself just not get into details or hows or anything like that. Just stream of consciousness, make a list, just get them all down. Because sometimes those things, when we're holding on to them and we don't have a clear, put them onto paper where we can see them and make decisions around them, they stay in the mental body and in the consciousness, and they keep things from flowing. So just go ahead and stream of consciousness, just start writing them down. Writing them on your paper. And just let yourself, what's that word called? Purge. Just purge everything. Core dump. Yeah, let's do a core dump onto your page. What are the mundane things that you need to handle before you go? For me, everything I do is online. So it's making sure my loved ones can have access to my online accounts and all of the different things that I do online, to shut them down or whatever might need to happen with them. Access what I have, shut down what I don't need anymore. And take a deep breath, breathing that light and love and compassion into your heart. And knowing that whether it be changing from one job to another, or embracing passion and purpose, or even starting a new exercise or diet plan or lifestyle plan, shall we say. Even if it's shifting something in your outer world or in your inner world, always helps to tie up the loose ends, or at least know what they are, so you can make decisions around them as you prepare to transition. It's all a transition in consciousness. Then the next question: who are the people most important to you? Who are the people most important to you? And just write down, who are the people that you want to connect with? And then as you sit with that list, what would you want to say to them? To each one. Which ones do you want to spend time with? And how do you want to spend that time? Is there any advice that you want to pass on to your loved ones, especially the young ones in your life, or your siblings, your parents, your best friends? So who are the people most important to you? What would you want to say to them? Who would you want to spend your time with, and how would you want to spend that time? And is there any advice that you would want to give to anyone close to you? And I'm going to hold the space for our container. Is calling in the light and the love and the compassion. And I'm going to give you a little time to write. And I'll invite you to come back to the recording later, or if you're listening to the recording, and you can pause at each one of these spaces after each one of these questions and do some more writing or journaling reflection. Who are the people? And I think the closer it gets to the shorter the span of time, the more narrowed this can get. And take a deep breath. Remember to breathe. Breathing all of your energy in and dropping down and landing into your pelvic bowl. There are a series of divine names in the divine names list, if you will, that all kind of flow together in this transition. It's Al-Mu'id, the restorer, restoring, and Al-Muhi, which is embodying your life force, your existence, and then Al-Mumit, which is the dying to self, and then Al-Hayy, which is the eternal life, and then Al-Qayyum, the everlasting. They all flow together. All right, and then the next question. What do you need to do, or would you do to prepare your own heart? What would you do to prepare your own heart to transition? There is a book that I actually started reading this past week called DNA in the Sands of Time by Jay Justice. And one line in this book says, 3 emotions are necessary to bring peace: unconditional forgiveness, love, and compassion. Unconditional forgiveness, love, and compassion. So think about forgiveness first. Who and what do you need to forgive? Who and what do you need to forgive? And you can just make a list here. I'm not going to get to take on each thing one by one. But who or what do you need to forgive? And the second part of this question is, what within yourself do you need to forgive? So self-forgiveness. And think about that. Can you forgive yourself unconditionally? Anytime we're preparing ourselves for an elevation in consciousness or of any kind, of any transition, this unconditional forgiveness is necessary to help us to let go of the past or whatever's holding us in the space we're in and allow us to elevate, to move to the next place. And when we can forgive others and ourselves and situations and God, when we can come to a place of forgiveness with all of those and embrace love and compassion, it automatically shifts our consciousness and elevates us to a new place. And if we want to live in a world of peace, an era of unconditional love and peace, and we know that our resonant frequency of our planet is increasing, and we know that the consciousness on our planet is increasing, if you choose to embrace that and go with that. That opportunity is available. And the work for us to do to be prepared and to go with that and to be able to elevate our consciousness, to live in a world of peace, is that forgiveness and embracing love and compassion. And what does embracing love and compassion means? This means, in preparing your heart, total self-acceptance. So self-forgiveness, self-compassion, self-love, self-acceptance. And turning everything to your source. Turning to your source. So, what would you do to prepare your own heart? And if you have something else come through for you on this, I'd love for you to share it when we open for the Q&A. I'm going to hold the space, and I'm reminded of something in Music of the Soul, if I can find that. This is from Music of the Soul. When you find the love, you find yourself. The secret is in the love. You are the love, not another. Everything is in the love, and everyone needs the love. If you find this, what more could you want? When you know, what more could you want? When you have the knowledge of the love, you feel peace in your heart. The jewels are inside you. This is the holy meaning. When you understand, then you are the meaning, the holy meaning. But look and reach so that you find every meaning, and do not hesitate, because inside every meaning is the quality of love. Leave everything outside that is not useful and give everything to God, to your source, to live inside. To live inside the garden of love. God's garden of love, your source, your creator, however you want to call it. The one source, the one creator. So turn everything to your source and give everything, and let yourself be changed by the love itself. Let yourself be cleansed, let your heart be cleansed, and you can feel when you really tune in and be present with your own energy, and you make this like turning everything to God and giving everything to God. And allowing yourself to be changed, to be transformed. You will feel your own vibration increase. You will feel the shift. You will feel yourself lifted and elevated. It doesn't mean that you leave your body or leave the people around you that you care about. It just means that your perspective changes, you shift and change. And as you do, so does everything that is drawn to you, including the attitudes and the behaviors of the people around you, because everything is always an interaction. It is a community interaction, if you will, in your relationships with people. And as you shift and change, their behaviors or their attitudes or their words will also shift and change. There may be that transition period where they realize it's like, oh, this same vibration that I'm putting out here has no resonance here anymore. It can't land here. And they'll just automatically shift without even knowing. That's happened in my life many, many times. And I'm back living with my family of origin, which is a crazy thing in a lot of ways. And it's amazing how things have shifted. Okay, and the final question, do you have a message for the world? A passion, a gift, something that is burning in your heart? Writing or art or music or any kind of a gift of service or anything that you want to leave behind as a part of your legacy in this world, if you will. It can be an act of kindness, an act of service, an act of love. What is it that you want to leave behind as you move on? And I know we're going through this quickly, but you can always come back to it. And if you need support, you're welcome to reach out to me, and I'd love to support you. Okay. And these are all things for us to explore, but think about it. And think about it within a time frame. Whatever time frame you want to give yourself. Whatever would help you to actually take action. And then just feel into, if you can, how much freedom it would give you to live from this place, knowing that your affairs are in order. You're spending the time with the people who are most important to you, and you're saying what you want to say to them. You're really loving and giving. And that your heart is prepared through forgiveness and compassion and love. And you're in acceptance of yourself and turning your heart to give everything over from your heart to your source. And the message, the passion, the purpose that you feel, that you want to give, that you want to leave behind, is being given into the world. And feel that. Just imagine yourself wherever you are in this moment. Here's an exercise I learned in another class that I'm doing with the Climate Healers group. Put yourself on the calendar. Imagine you're standing on the giant calendar and you're standing on today's date. And put a circle around this place where you're standing. And then look at the calendar, look to where is the date for 2 weeks from now. And imagine in 2 weeks from now, you have your things in order. You spent your time in the way you wanted to spend it, and you've said the things you've wanted to say to the people you wanted to say it to. You've shared your advice and your words of wisdom with the ones who are the young ones in your life and the ones who you care about. And you've also received from them, because that's important too. And you've prepared your heart through forgiveness, through embracing compassion and love, through total self-acceptance and feeling connected and aligned and one with your source. And the message that you want it to give to the world, your passion, your purpose, your gift, your service, whatever it is in place. And now stand on that date, 2 weeks from today. Stand on that place. Physically move yourself to that new date and put a circle around that date and feel what it feels like to have this in place. And let your body feel it. Let your nervous system feel it and begin to resonate with this sense of doneness, if you will, and completion, sense of satisfaction. And just let your whole body resonate with that feeling of freedom. Nothing's going to change whether or not you actually pass from one level of consciousness to another. That's let me put it this way. Nothing's going to change when is your time to leave the body, to die the physical death from the body. That's not going to change. So doing this is not going to bring that time any closer. But it will prepare you to live the life in the moment and live in love and live with freedom. As Fauzia says in the Divine Names book, the mystic knows that death does not exist, that it is merely a change of consciousness. The mystic knows that death does not exist, it is merely a change of consciousness. So live here and now in the change of consciousness while you are in your physical body and on this planet Earth in a way that will give you the freedom and help to lift you and elevate your consciousness now, today, so that as the global consciousness on our planet is increasing, you're ready to go if you want to go. And I don't mean to die from the body. I mean to elevate your consciousness in the here and now and wherever that might be taking us as we transition into an era of peace. We'll take a deep breath, breathe all of your energy in, and as you exhale, drop down and land into your pelvic bowl. Feel yourself in your body, grounded in your hips, sitting in your hips, resting in your hips. You can shift your hips and let your energy move all the way through your hips and through your legs, through your knees, through your calves and shins, and through your ankles and through your feet, and through your toes and into the earth. Feel yourself physically present in your body, connected to the earth. Stretch out your arms and circle your wrists and your hands. Feel your presence all the way through your shoulders, through your arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, hands, fingers, and that beautiful heart energy extending out through the palms of your hands. And feel your presence from the tip of your head, coming all the way down through your vertical core, into your base, and into the earth. Physically present in your body elevating your consciousness to live in the higher vibrations in the here and now. You can make an audible sound. Give yourself a deep breath in and an audible sound as you exhale. Okay. Now I'm going to open for the Q&A, and I'll end the recording. If you're listening to the recording, you're welcome and invited to join us on Sundays at 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. U.S. Pacific Time. Find information for joining the call at joyfullylivingwellness.com, joyfullylivingwellness.com. While you're there, pick up your copy of the 10 Spiritual Principles of Our Human Existence. It's a one sheet that gives you just 10 principles of what this world is about and what our existence here is about. And it comes with a 15-minute guided meditation that you can use as a part of your daily practice to help you to embody this light and love and compassion every day of your life. All right, and with that, I end the recording and open for the Q&A. Thank you very much.